Hey Gemini, it's your girl NeenaRose coming at you for your blam. It's on for January 20th, 2020, baby. Hope all is well with you, Gemini. I want to thank you all for your likes, shares, and subscribes. Um, I pray you all are doing well and that you don't give up on yourself, Um, and you can always shake back. You can strive to do better. You don't have to always be down in the dumps. You don't have to think that things are not going to work out for you. Um, just speak that you stay encouraged, you know, and admit and accept your own faults. If you don't accept your own faults, how can other people accept them? Love yourself first, Gemini. I feel like a lot of you are struggling with loving yourself and loving who you are in spite of your situations. I feel like a lot of you are really struggling with maybe making poor decisions at some point, and some of you want to bounce back and don't know how. No, you can't turn back the hands of time, but the first step to actually getting someone to see things your way is to actually admit, I was wrong, I did this, I said this, but I want to make things right with you. You know, that has a lot to do with who you are and where you're going. And if somebody want to take that trip with you, then they can say, hey, you know what? At least they was a big enough person to say they did that. I ain't saying to go incriminate yourself or nothing like that, but the things that you may have done that may have a huge bearing on why you and someone may not be talking or can't start over. I'm just hearing that a lot of you may want to take the first step to get things right. Your first chakras. I'm just gonna go from. We have prayer in the reverse and expansion in the upright. So a lot of you have been praying about expanding your mind, expanding who you are, forgiving yourself, your gifts and your talents. Some of you may be contemplating on how to actually provide for your family. Some of you may want to know how to make your gifts work where you can take care of your family. And that says a lot about growth. You have to be able to want the change to take place. I can pray for something all day, every day. But if I don't really want the change to take place, it won't manifest. And I'm getting the feeling like a lot of you want some true change in your life. Some of you are really crying out in prayer about making some life changes. But I'm going to tell you something, Gemini. A lot of things that we want, we got to want the sacrifice that come along with it. And I know you know this. But some of the things you're praying about, some of you want a quick fix. You got to go to the root of the thing. And that dark night of the soul type action. When things come up on your mind, you're like, man, I don't want to think about that. Think about it. So you can get rid of it. So you can heal from it. A lot of people don't like to think about their trauma, but that's the only way you can get healed from it. Not think about it constantly, day and night, but face it. Talk to the Creator about it so that you can get past it. Because when you can heal from something traumatic, then when other things come up, you won't blow up anymore because you're not being triggered. We have here perfection in the reverse. We have impatience in the reverse. And we have victim in the upright. So you have basically this situation that you may be coming out of. You may be playing victim, like, I didn't know this person was like this, and I would have never stayed if I did. Don't worry about that energy. And then you come out of being impatient, and then you're coming out of perfection. Like, you may have come to accept your faults, or that's what you're just not realizing, that you know what, I'm not perfect. They weren't perfect, but you got to get to the point of not pointing the finger. Some of you may have just come out of a relationship that you did not plan to be in as long as you did, and you did. You may not have planned to have kids with this person, and you did. You may not have planned to go as far as what you did in any of your relationships, but you did. And now you've gained the patience that you needed, and the actual voice that you need to know who you are now. These relationships made you. There's no sense in playing the victim. These relationships, or the one relationship, has actually put you where you needed to be, Gemini. Put you on the map with stability. A grown adult for real. Making very mature decisions. And can actually call a spade a spade. You don't need to play a victim anymore. Because this person grew you up. And you probably grew them up too. You have instinct and recovery in the reverse. A lot of you are going and using your intuition, and you're recovering from past hurt and pain, from things that you may have once had the door closed to, or saying, nah, I never do that. But then it's like, okay, maturity then kicked in. It's kind of like now you see why an older relative did what they did. A father figure, a mother figure, an aunt, an uncle, just someone who made some choices. I'm hearing that now you understand why. And it's like, dang, you can't take them choices. You can't take back what you did, but I see why they did what they did. Some of them did it out of immaturity, and some of them did it just out of just straight ignorance, which levels out to about the same, right? So now we have service and trickery. Service in the upright and trickery in the reverse. So what it is that you're supposed to be doing, you understand that basically the manipulation that comes along with it. No one can trick you anymore. You're not falling for the same things anymore. You actually grown up out of some things, and you're realizing who you are in your community, in your family. Who you are? Who are you? Are you the voice in your family? The spokesperson? I feel like you acknowledge the enemy for manipulation. I feel like a lot of you see that through your connections, the manipulation that came in through the enemy, not so much a person, could be just familiar spirits, a deceptive spirit that could have come in and had you basically tear down some intimate relationships that may have been good for you, but you understand now that was the work of manipulation, trickery. You understand manipulation at its core now. You have faith in the reverse. A lot of you have increased your faith, going the extra mile in your relationships with yourself, with others, but mainly with yourself. A lot of you may have been working out of insecurity before, where you kind of may have done some things and it was basically out of insecurity. Some of your relationships may have ended harshly because of insecurity, not feeling that you're adequate enough. Some of you may have dealt with people harshly because of insecurity. And this is what's on your mind, because a lot of you, now these two came out on the side, so this growth is on its way down. Like, you see the growth, but it's like now it's going back down to where you're starting over, and you shouldn't have to. Because a lot of you already know where you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be with. But this was like this here. You already know who you're supposed to be with. You don't feel like you're ready though. But there goes that insecurity again. You don't feel like you're ready. You want to start over with your growth like you can go back to being 15 or 16. Can't do it. Can't go back like that. You have to pick up from today and wear your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding. You have to wear this. Wisdom looks good on maturity. Now you got some stripes. You know where you're supposed to be. Now, the only thing you can do is get there and do what it takes to stay there. Because you know what it takes to break it. Now, you have to exhibit the growth and show that you know what it takes to make it. Let's get out an animal spirit for you, Gemini. And then we're going to pray. I feel like a lot of you have really have gone through some things in 2019. And it's like now I need to do what it takes to get to the next level. And you're there. You've leveled up. Now it's like, okay, do I have what it takes to pick this relationship back up? Because I'm hearing that some of you want to go back to someone from your past. That's what I'm hearing. This one to come out. Orangutan, working to live joyously, not living to work. So some of you may be trying to overwork a thing, overthink a thing, thinking that something else is going to come from it. Rhinoceros, still the chatter within to see your path in life. That's it right there. Know what it's going to take to keep moving. Don't listen to anybody else. Do what it takes for you to win, Gemini. Creator, I come to you, and I'm thankful for Gemini. Thankful for their mind, their body, their soul, their spirit, to want to expand, that they have their prayer life in complete order with you, that they're praying for change, they're praying for growth, they're praying for a mind to keep moving, that they perfected their voice and they're no longer impatient about things that they can't change, and they're not a victim, that they stand tall in things and understand that they had to go through everything to get to the level that they're at now. I speak they love what they do and they work joyously at it. That they not work in a burdensome situation. It's not working for them. I speak that they change their mindset, their perception to where they're constantly winning and not failing, even in their own eyes. That they don't let the chatter in their head blindfold them at the things that they need and love to have in their life. I speak that their destiny, they know where they're at and they exhibit the growth to actually be with the person they're purposed to be with. But they're not ashamed to go and say, hey, I was wrong. Hey, can we start over? Will you give me another chance? I did mess up, but let me work on it. And they not be in fear of rejection. I speak that they continue to recover from traumas and hurts. Use their intuition to build and to heal, even themselves and others around them. If they stand and be the purpose healer that they was meant to be. I speak that they have the faith to conquer, to be victorious, as their purpose to do. I speak that they see the manipulation and trickery coming from a mile off. when it's time to help and heal others. If they don't fall for the plan of getting distracted and bogged down with burdens that are not theirs. Selah. You have a good one, Gemini. I just speak that you stand tall and don't waver this time. Because you got it. Ball in your court. What you gonna do? It's NeenaRose. Y'all have a good one.